Hi there, my name is Jake Carlson. I'm a professor of sociology in the Department of Political, Social, and Cultural Sciences. And I want to present some work today on a proposal I've been working on with a colleague for a social housing development authority. Now, you may have noticed that housing has become a central issue in our society where it is so unaffordable that over half of renters have what is considered unaffordable rental payments. And even over a quarter of owners are also in an affordability crunch. Now, around the country, many are trying to find other solutions to this problem, turning to what many refer to as social housing. Now, this is something that is cropping up in towns all around the country. Every week, there seems to be a new social housing campaign kicking off. But what is social housing? Well, social housing refers to various kinds of what we might call decommodified housing that are housing arrangements where the price of housing and access to it are not determined solely by the free market. And what kind of examples do we have of that? Well, that it does include government-owned rental housing. We have an experience with that in the US that is somewhat unique. In the rest of the world, what we might call public housing is generally quite successful and desirable places where many people want to live in. In Vienna, Austria, most people are renters, and many of them live in government-owned rental housing. It also includes other kinds of semi-ownership arrangements, such as community land trusts and limited equity cooperatives, where either a nonprofit entity owns the land or the building, and residents essentially lease their properties, but through a similar kind of ownership arrangement, either in an apartment or a community land trust. So we have many examples of that here in the US. So we've been working on this proposal and writing about it of a proposal for a social housing development authority. Now, what is it? It is essentially a new government entity which achieves a variety of functions. It works like a public developer, but it also works like a public bank. It works as a land and holding company. It manages property and does technical assistance, all in the service of creating social housing. We find that in contrast to other existing affordable housing programs, what happens is that an early investment in this kind of proposal eventually starts to outpace unit production in LIHTC, one of the dominant affordable housing projects in the US. And versions of this have been cropping up, including in New York State, which has introduced a bill in the Senate and Assembly for a social housing development authority modeled after our proposal. We look forward to another one being introduced, hopefully this summer in Congress. But we hope that this will be a chance to turn a different page on what a solution to affordable housing crisis could be. Thanks.